All right. I think we're good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the L Section podcast. This is our new show that my buddy Justin and I have been planning for quite a while now. Um, yeah, I know it's been since like last year we've been planning this. My name is Adrian, by the way, for people that don't know. I'm a content creator. I work with the Habs Tonight YouTube channel. I've had other podcasts in the past, formerly Project 24 and the Doghouse Sports podcast. So that's a little bit about myself. Really love making sports content, by the way, for anyone that's wondering. I mainly make TikTok videos, Instagram, stuff like that. So yeah, no, that's a little bit about myself. Justin, if you want to go ahead.
All right. Hey there, everyone. My name is Justin. As Adrian went into, we've been playing this for a while, and we'll get into more of the background of who we are, how we met, and how this podcast came to be in a bit. But right now, we're just going to introduce ourselves. So, I'm not that much of a content creator. I would love to be, but I'm just getting into content creation myself. I'm an amateur video editor. I'm really into anything to do with technology or culinary or any like mental health stuff is my biggest things. I currently work in the tech space, and yeah, that's me. Like I love sports as well. I'm a huge soccer fan. If this ends up being a video, I'm currently wearing a Raptors jersey, so I'm a big basketball fan as well.
There you go. There you
But
go.
yeah, that's sort of about me. But let's dive into how we came up with this. So, Adrian, if you don't mind, I'll take the helm on how we came up with the name.
Go ahead. Grab it by the horns, man. Go ahead.
So, we've been planning this podcast for well over a year. So, first, I want to sort of tell everyone how Adrian and I met. So, Adrian and I both grew up in the same city. We met when we were 6 years old, and we are now turning 26. So, fuck me,
Fuck,
dude. We've
dude.
known each other for 20 years.
Bro, dude,
Oh,
I don't mean to
man.
interrupt,
No,
but
absolutely. It's
this is
episode zero.
actually,
Derail. Yeah.
yeah. So this is actually, 20 years that I've been in Brampton
Yep.
this summer. So
20 years,
yeah,
man.
man, that's fucking nuts, man. The time just
I think
flies.
I've been here 21 years because I moved here in 2001 from Toronto.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so we went to the same elementary school. We met in the first grade, and both of us had lived in what's known as the L section of our city. So in our city, Brampton, streets are separated by sections. Like for example, my old street was Lindridge Avenue. I can say that because I don't live there anymore. Adrian Street also starts with an L, but I'm not going to dox him. So,
Appreciate that.
but we lived in the same section, and I've moved around. God, so many times since that childhood home. But Adrian has remained in the same place, and whenever we used to hang out, we'd always hang out at the L section. And so when we were coming up
Yeah.
with the name of the podcast, we were trying to figure out things to like incorporate our names or like things that we both enjoy. But then I can't remember who thought of the L section. But
No, it was you. I'm
oh
giving you full credit
yeah,
for that.
that's right.
It was you.
I
No,
was like,
I'm
wait,
giving
no.
full credit to you.
Um,
I was struggling with the name, and then you just thought of it like that, and I was like, "That's it. That's the name." So
so
yeah,
the thought process behind L section was not only because of the street and area that we grew up on, but also an L section is a type of couch. And the way that we want to structure this podcast is just, think of it as you're walking into one of your friends' living rooms. Just grab a seat on the couch. We're going to sit, fuck around, talk about whatever, and just, shoot the shit. Have a good vibe.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, that's how the podcast name came together. In terms of how it's going to be structured, your guys' guess is as good as ours, man. Like, to be fair, this is episode 0, so this is just us like getting our feet wet and getting to know each other and getting to know you guys. But
Yeah.
we'll definitely have some kind of structure in terms of topics that we want to touch on going forward. But for right now, like again, we're just shooting the shit. I will say though, we to touch on Adrian's previous podcast history. I was a guest on, I think, the 10th episode of his podcast back when it was called Project 24. And
Yes.
it was mainly sports focused. We will still be touching
Yeah.
on sports stuff here, but like we're turning into more of a variety podcast. We don't want to focus too much on one thing because we don't want to alienate someone. Again, like I said, if you're coming into someone's like living room, you're gonna be talking about a bunch of random shit.
About anything, man.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about life, and that's the thing, right? And I also I like what you said earlier, talking about like mental health and like, man, life's a grind,
Yeah.
and I like talking about life with people. And I don't, I guess I can speak for you too on this, my friend, but like I want to, inspire people. And it's been a tough 2 years for a lot of people around the world. And I kind of want to also, we joke around, we can tell our funny stories from the past and shit like that, but also, you know, give advice to people, and try to influence people in the right way, and do all the right things. So that's kind of the gist of it, I guess you could say.
Yeah, absolutely, and I 100% agree. And I guess since this train has no track, let's just go with the flow. So if we're talking about the past 2 years of mental health, I definitely agree with you, and I'm glad that we're both on the same page on that one, which is like the main thing that we want to do anytime that we bring up our stories on mental health or mental stability or anything like that. Like, we're not trying to be pick-me's. We're not trying to be like, oh, here's a sob story. If both of us have a story to share, it's so that you guys can learn from our experiences. And maybe, there may be someone out there that's experiencing the same things as we talk about. And hopefully, if you feel like you're alone, don't. Come on into our living room, sit on the L section couch, let's talk.
Fucking, fucking right, man. That's right. And that's the thing, man. Like, I just want this, like you said, you want it to be a variety podcast, and I was telling you just before we started recording here, but I find like a lot of the shows that really don't have like a topic that they talk about. It's just an open
Mm-hmm.
conversation. I find those are the most successful, because like I watch a lot of those kind of shows, and I've done a lot of my homework the last maybe 8 months or so. And it's like I can just name off a few, like Two Bears in One Cave, Impulsive, Joe Rogan too, right? Before it got political, but you know um
Also, yeah, I'm gonna jump in there. Don't worry about that happening here. We both
no,
promised
no, no,
ourselves we're not gonna religion and politics, the two things we're not gonna touch. So don't worry about that right off
no,
the bat, folks.
no.
So
No, trust me. Like, honestly, man, like I just don't feel like that's the right
no, God
platform
no.
for stuff like that. And the problem that I have though with a lot of people nowadays is that um I find like people use like their social media platforms, or especially like famous people, public figures, just to act like a political activist, and it's like, it's great that you have your opinions. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
Whatever opinion you have, you're entitled to that opinion. But um, again, when you're in such a high pedestal like that, sometimes it could be really dangerous with the things you say, right? Politically, it
To
doesn't matter what side you're on.
oh,
It can be,
for sure.
yeah,
I think
right.
like
Let me make that clear.
to play devil's advocate there, I think if you have a big platform, you're sort of expected, or you have more freedom to be an activist for certain things. Like, I don't think anyone's going to complain if, like, no one complains about Leonardo DiCaprio being such a huge environmental activist, because obviously it's something we all need, and, like, the environment's important. That's all
Yeah,
something we can all agree on. But,
yeah.
like,
Oh no,
in
for
terms
sure.
of political activism, I don't know. I'm very, like, if you keep it to a point where you have your opinion, you share your opinion, but you're not a dickhead about it, and you keep an open mind and an open forum for the people around you to continue that discussion, then that's fine. Use your platform for that. But if you're gonna be like completely either left wing or right wing, or like even if you're in the middle, but you decide to use your platform as a way to either instigate a negative reaction against someone who doesn't share your values, or if you're allowing your followers to do that, then you don't deserve your platform.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like when they try to alienate us, like, one side. I
Mm-hmm.
guess, like, again,
Mm-hmm.
someone has an opinion, and it's, I'm gonna alienate the opposition, right?
Right.
Like, I've seen it happen quite a bit the last little bit. But personally, like, again, this is just gonna be a positive podcast. We're just gonna be just guys being dudes,
Just
So
dudes being
as
dudes.
that's right, man. So it's just gonna be fun. There's no like you know. And again, like I said, I want to be inclusive in the sense where this could be a podcast for anybody, right? And for everybody. So I just don't want to like cater to just one group of people. I want everybody to, especially, like eventually I'd like to have guests on from like people we grew up with, like people in the community would be good,
Hmm.
and people that are, in business and stuff like that, athletes. So just again, a wide variety of people and that I like to collab with when we get the chance, and it'd be good, man. Just to grow the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
Yeah,
to get the other warnings out of the way, because obviously episode 0 is the setup for everything.
yeah.
To any of our parents or family members that ever end up listening to this,
Oh man.
fuck off. This is not for you.
Oh boy,
Like,
with some of
I'm
the
sorry in
dude.
advance, but don't
Oh
listen to
dude,
this. Like, do
fuck,
not
dude.
listen to us
Oh
talk
my
shit.
god, buddy. I'm telling you, like again, because we have some
Oh
crazy
god.
stories from back in the day, and I'm gonna be an open book.
Oh,
To
same.
be honest, I doesn't affect me one bit, but like man, just my stories from like me, my past, like our party stories. And there's one in particular, but we're gonna wait for that one because I think you know which one I'm
I know which
talking
one, and
about.
I kind of want to get into that one, but I want to set it up. So
Yeah, no, no.
here's the funny thing about us. Like, even though now grown up, like not like you can see if we turn this into a video, or you can hear. Obviously, we're like
Yeah,
grown ass adults. We're grown ass adults with like modern opinions. We are big hulking dudes. Like for those of you who don't see this as a video and just end up watching an audio recording, for example, Adrian and I are both like over 6 feet dudes. We're chunky dad bod boys with like facial hair, and
fucking right.
we're typical guys. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, man,
growing
fucking
up,
right.
oh my god, we were the biggest fucking like dweebs on the
Oh
goddamn
man,
planet. Like,
we used to go to the mall like fucking 2, 3 times a week and act like a bunch of goofs,
not
man. It
even
was
like,
fucking
yeah,
nuts,
even the
man.
beginning of high school did that too. But like, even in elementary school, like we were losers, dude. Like, I'm not afraid to admit
Oh,
that we
dude,
were
yeah,
such dorks.
me too, bro.
Like, oh,
Oh, if anyone's seen my elementary
I
school
have to pull up
pictures, oh
that
my god,
picture.
man, you would fucking. We
There's this
will
one picture
definitely.
that I will definitely end up sharing on the L section social media. Which,
Oh,
by the way, follow us on
oh,
like
fuck yeah.
Instagram and everything else that we have.
Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter and
But
YouTube.
there's a picture of Adrian in grade 8 where he just has like a bowl cut, the most lanky motherfucker you've ever seen on this planet, and like the Harry Potter horn rim glasses. It's so incredible.
Dude, oh my god, man. I want to find dude, we got to embarrass ourselves
For
like at
sure, we
least a
have to,
little
we have
bit,
to.
right? I'm totally down for that. Like I can look back at some of those pictures and I'm like, "Wow, what the fuck, dude?"
Dude,
You
that's okay.
know?
I have one picture of, and like I'll describe it, but I'll also share it too. It's a
Yeah.
picture of when I think it was just before no, it was just after I turned 15.
Yeah.
And this was back in the like, this is to age ourselves here. This was back in the like, if you weren't rolling with a G-Shock and a snapback constantly, you were lame as fuck. So
Dog, I remember those days. I didn't have the G-Shock, but I was always rocking the
I still got
snapback,
the
so I have
G-Shock
one out of
sitting in
two.
my apartment on the
You
windowsill.
do,
Like,
eh?
it's so
Oh,
funny.
dude, that's mint.
But
That's fucking
so
mint.
I had my red G Shock, a fucking Batman logo T-shirt, a pair of jeans, my sunglasses on inside, my Knicks snapback, and
I remember
yeah,
that
yeah,
Nick
yeah.
snapback, yo. Do you still have that?
No, I got rid of it. But oh my god, I
Why?
don't know. Like, maybe I do in my closet, but like, oh
Oh,
my
you gotta find
god.
that. You gotta wear that for an episode.
Fuck
Come
me,
on.
dude.
You gotta do that.
I got other snapbacks that I can wear.
Okay,
Don't you
okay,
worry
good,
about
good,
that. But
good.
like, oh my god, yeah. So I don't want people to watch this and be like, oh, these guys are like your typical dude bros. They don't know what the fuck. No, listen, we came from nothing. All right,
Yeah.
we used to be massive losers. Sometimes we still are. Let's be real. But
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah.
but
I'm
like,
still a
yeah,
fucking idiot,
yeah.
man. Don't worry.
Don't worry, we are as hashtag relatable as you need us to be. So
Dude. It's yeah, man. I remember one time, man. We like again. I was saying we used to like muck around at Bramley City
Yep.
Center for all the Brampton mans that are watching BCCs. Was a spot in high
For
school.
all the
Uh,
non-Brampton mans watching who are gonna talk shit about Brampton, listen, none of you will ever talk shit about Brampton as much as we do. We fucking hate it here
oh,
too,
dude,
okay? Like,
it's okay. We're just here for the ride, you know.
yeah.
And I mean, honestly, man, like I've thought about it recently too. Like it's gonna be hard to leave whenever I have to one day because, like, dude, I literally spent my pretty like my whole life here, you know, like, and just all the little like areas that like I drive by, and it just brings back so many memories,
So
you
not
know.
to derail
And
from
it's
the
like,
story you're
fuck,
about to tell of us hanging out at BCC, but like
yeah.
since we're on it, so I moved to Toronto just before COVID hit. So
Mm-hmm.
my
Yeah,
dad and
I
I
remember
moved
that.
back to North York where I was born, and it was good for a while, but like I had no friends that I knew in Toronto, and this was like these were thoughts I had even before COVID. So I had like no friends I knew in Toronto. I every time I wanted to hang out with people or meet people, I would just take the Go bus back to Brampton to fucking see everybody. And like I don't know, it was just like living in Toronto as an adult who like first of all, making friends as an adult is hard enough as it is, and not that's not talked about enough. But like
Bro, for real.
when COVID
Holy
hit,
fuck.
a year into COVID, so I moved back to Brampton January 1st, 2021. I knew I was like, if I'm gonna get an apartment, I have to do it back in Brampton. All my friends are, all my family is there. Everything else is fucking closed in Toronto. There's no point for paying Toronto prices to like,
Trust me.
yeah.
It's a no-brainer. Yeah, man. No, I totally agree. Like it's crazy like even just the housing prices, but like we'll
Oh,
get into that another time. Although again, we'll get into that another time, but like yeah, so I remember I remember one time we were like 15, 16, again, bunch of fucking dummies, you know, just a bunch of kids with like not all
stupid,
like
stupid kids.
you know, like not like what's the word I'm thinking of? Like not like a worry in sight, you know, but anyways, like so I remember like we used to like again, we still do, but we used to swear a lot back then. And
Oh, clearly they fucking heard us the whole time. Just
yeah,
like,
fuck. Bro. So I remember one time we were like I think we were like chirping each other and I think I dropped like an F bomb and there was like a fucking like 6 or 7 year old kid right there and the parents gave me this fucking
oh, it was
death stare.
so funny.
And then you're like, "You fucking idiot, man! What's your problem?" And I was like, "What? He's gonna learn those words anyways." And we just started laughing. He's like, "Well, it doesn't matter. He's gonna learn them
Yeah.
in 2 years anyway. So what the fuck's the matter?" I was
Oh no, we
like,
used to be like fucking idiot. I remember there was this one time I forget what store it was in, but I had a gift card that I had no idea how much was on the card. So I took Adrian to the mall with me to be like, all right, let's figure out how much is on this card. So we
"Oh, I
scan
think I
it.
remember
It's
this."
like a couple of $100. And instead of us just go,
No,
yeah, no,
I remember
instead of us
that.
just going like, oh, cool, that's dope. We literally run the aisles of this store, just screaming, yo, and just like freaking out. And the cashier was like, what the fuck is wrong with these two kids?
Dude,
We didn't give two
what
shits.
store was that?
I can't
know.
remember, but like, oh my
Oh, I
god,
fucking remember that actually. That was
that was
insane.
so
And
funny.
did you like buy a bunch of shit too?
I can't remember what I bought. Like, obviously I used it, but like, I can't remember what I
Yeah,
bought.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, that was I actually do remember that more.
That's so funny.
It's crazy how all these memories are starting to come back, eh?
That's the whole point
Oh
of the
man.
podcast. The rest is to talk
Yeah,
shit.
right? Do you remember the first time you tried chewing tobacco at that party? And you had the canker sore?
Okay, so if we're getting into stories, so there was this one
Oh
time
fuck, dude.
we had a party at someone's place. Not
We're not gonna say
dropping, yeah, not dropping names here.
No, no. For the record, though, we're not going to drop names just for people's protection.
Yeah,
Right? Defamation's a serious thing.
We
now,
will
so-
we will drop names of people that are comfortable with us dropping names, but for right now, it's just us.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's just us, man.
we were at someone's party, and
Someone's party.
we were young and stupid. So Adrian had chewing
Very.
tobacco with him.
Back in my chewing tobacco days.
And so we're out on like in their backyard, and I think I'm having a cigarette and Adrian's chewing tobacco. And which for the record, like general PSA, at this point, if you're in high school or like even if you're like close to 19, 20, don't chew dip because it'll ruin
Don't.
your mouth. But also
Bro.
avoid tobacco as much as you can. Like we're
Yeah,
in
seriously.
Canada, so obviously like if you're gonna smoke weed, that's cool. But like tobacco has so many like detriments that are just unnecessary. Anyway,
Fucking
PSA
brutal.
out of the way. So he's like, "Oh, try this dip." So dip is what we call chewing tobacco for the people that don't know. And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe." So I take a little bit and I put it under my gums, which is what you're supposed to do. Is just be like, "All right, cool."
Yeah, yeah. You just
Just
dropped
let
it
it
in
settle.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I didn't know was that I had like a canker sore or a cold sore or something
It's a canker sore.
inside of my mouth, and the dip hit the spot that the sore was on, and I'm literally on the fucking floor
Oh man.
dying.
At first I thought
And
it was
this
hilarious.
motherfucker is sitting there laughing his ass off.
After a while though, I did feel bad.
Yeah, after a
though. I
while,
won't
because
say
like
that.
the
I was
pain
like,
didn't
fuck.
go away. It was like, "Oh fuck, you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good, I'm
Yeah.
good." But on the inside, I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, inside you were dying inside.
Oh
So
god,
yeah,
it was so
and
great.
yeah, it was so funny
I,
though, man.
like,
Like,
why is it almost every story I have of something stupid or dumb happening to me, you're involved? You know what? I'm telling the other story. Okay,
Okay,
so we were in high school, and
wait, which one is this? The one at my house?
no.
Oh,
That
okay.
story's being saved.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
No, no,
Okay,
no.
yeah, that one's
No.
that's that we gotta save that for another
You'll
time.
know this one in like a second. So
Okay.
we're in high school, and for the record, the fact that we're still friends after he pulled I'm about to tell you guys should prove how close we are. So
Oh, this one.
I'm on the third floor of our high school, and I'm talking to this one girl who, like, I had a thing for, and like I have no idea if she had a thing for me or not, but like she was talking back, and like shout out the like Toronto high school gang. We were kind of wheeling, so like
Fuck, I haven't heard that word in a while.
but so we're talking and we're chilling, and I'm like, leaned against the locker, like a hand on the locker, vibing,
Yeah,
doing my
feel fucking
thing,
confident.
like
Yeah.
chirping my way out. And she's listening, and then
Yeah.
this dickhead comes through with a group of boys, and his locker is a couple lockers down from mine.
Yes, I do.
So
remember. Grade 10.
yeah.
We were in grade 10.
So
Yeah.
he was in the woodshop class at this time. So he goes into his locker, pulls out a long 2x4. And like his locker was behind where I was facing, so I'm facing straight. His locker's behind me, so I don't see him. So he pulls out the 2x4, walks up behind me, low sweeps the shit out of me, and takes out
You're fucking-
and takes me out back of the knees. I crumble.
fucking calf.
Yeah, I crumble like a motherfucker, and this guy runs off, dying laughing.
You fucking folded like a
So-
cheap tent there, bud.
So
Holy
the
shit.
girl that I was talking to was horrified. She looks at me, she's like, "Oh my god, Justin, are you okay? What happened?" I look up and I'm pissed. I get up, I'm like, "Who the fuck?" I see him running away, laughing his ass off, and I burst out laughing. And she's like, "Why are you laughing? You just got like hit with a 2x4." And in the middle of me, like, when I calm down from laughing my ass off, I'm like, no, that's just Adrian. It's fine. Like,
It's Adrian just being
yeah, it's Adrian just being Adrian. Oh,
Fuck,
fuck.
man. That's a good story though. That's like an all-time story
Shit.
that I'll always remember. That one, the canker sore one,
And the one
man,
that we're
there's-
saving. But
Yeah. Oh, that one. Again, like I'm kind of regretful of it now.
You're such a
But again,
dick.
you guys will find out. Dude, I'm telling
yeah,
you.
if
drugs
y'all
and
if y'all
alcohol-
want to hear that story, y'all gotta stay tuned for the next episode. But like
yeah, next episode or a couple
episodes from
later.
now, we'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
fuck.
But
Yeah, but man,
But yeah, we've definitely, and like I've had my fair share of dumb stories, like with Adrian too. Like it's not just him doing stupid
Yeah.
shit, but like we've definitely over the years. The one thing that I will say about our friendship is that obviously people change constantly, and like there were times in like high school, university where we weren't as close as we are now or how we used to be, but like we both grew and changed as people, but we still were in each other's lives as a constant. And like that just goes to show, like, even though we've been friends for so many years, it's never like, even you can hear us talking about our friendship, it's never gotten stale. Like we always still find ways to like improve each other. We always still find ways to like be there for each other, and it's just like with such a good close friendship that we have, like Adrian's not even a friend anymore. Adrian's like a brother to me. So like that's why when the idea of the podcast was thrown around, instantly we were like, yeah, no, if we're gonna do a personal podcast, it has to be with the two of us.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. There's no doesn't get any better than that,
yeah.
man. Like adding to your point there too, like you are right though. There was like times, when you were still in university and like I was working and it was like we were kind of going in different directions, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm.
But we were again still would hang out when we had the chance to. I know you were working like 2 or 3 jobs back
Oh,
then.
brother.
And no, but you know what though? I was gonna save this for like for the podcast, and I've been thinking about it lately too. And like the amount of times too when around that time I'd ask you like, hey man, you want to reach this party or like you want to go to like the strip club or whatever, and like you'd be like, nah, I gotta work, I gotta do this, I have to study for an exam. And like I really respect that about you and how how much you worked your ass off to and you just landed a great job now. And while I was out just partying and fucking wasting my life with fucking idiots, right? Some idiots, not all of them though, some of them are good people, but people I don't even talk to anymore. Like they're just empty memories now, right? While you were out grinding and making you know so I gotta say I do respect that about you a lot.
I
So
really appreciate that. And for the
yeah.
record, hey mom and dad, if you ever listen to that, you hear that? I was fucking working in university and studying. I wasn't just sitting on my ass. Fuck off. But
Jesus Christ.
but they're never gonna listen to this. Whatever. But
Yeah. Watch you just see a fucking fist come flying. Next time, like they just walk into your room, that was a fucking fist flying behind your head.
how are they gonna get into my
Jesus
apartment? But
Hey man, you never
actually
know.
no, my mom does have my spare key. So
Anyways,
yeah, but even though like yeah, I grinded and I did my work stuff too. Like to give you credit there too, like you definitely had your years of like going through a rough patch, and we'll get it. I feel like us having our dark years is its own separate episode.
yeah,
but like
absolutely, yeah. I
you
agree.
definitely had your times of like going through things that you definitely shouldn't have and definitely didn't need to. But like you came out on top. Like now
Thanks, man.
you're working a good job, you're in a good stable relationship. You got your life together a lot better than I'll be honest, you got your life together a lot better than I expected you to. Back when you were doing
Yeah,
your
man.
stupid shit. So you know what?
Yeah,
I'm nothing but proud of you.
thanks, man.
So
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's like again, that's like a whole. I just want to like talk a little bit about that too. Like honestly, like I look back at it. There's some things I regret. There's some things I don't regret. For the most part though, like I try not to regret because
mhm.
it all made me a better person. It all made me who I am today. And
Of
I'm
course.
just happy. I'm happy, honestly, man. Like I was thinking about it. Like we were talking about it at the bar the other day when we went out. Like honestly, man, like I'm just happy with the people I have in my life now, like including you and Josh. Shout out to Josh, by the way, a good buddy of ours who grew up in the area with us. Like it's just like and my family, like my girlfriend and her family, like I'm just thankful for who I have in my life now. Like I don't need like a big friend group, like
Mhm.
back in the day, in my early 20s and stuff like that. Like and just people that, they're just distant memories now, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just happy with what I have and who I have now. I mean, there's days too where, it's a mental grind, and I'm telling you, life's a mental grind. Like sometimes like even today, man, it's just like today I was just like fuck,
Yeah,
excuse
you
me.
sent me your Snapchat in the morning. You're like, I'm not fucking feeling work, man.
Dude, there's a lot of days that are like that, but you,
Yeah.
you got to do it, right? People don't understand that. Like, even though we don't want to, go to our jobs every day, and some of them are, a lot of people are unfulfilled in that way, but just, we got to do it, right? Just to get by and keep working on what you want to
Yep.
achieve eventually long term, but you got to still hold on to what you have now because there's a lot of people, I'm telling you, there's 50 people in line that would kill for a job right now, right?
Mhm.
So I try to think of it like that and have perspective like that. So and then again, this is kind of like the stuff that we're gonna talk about too, is just like motivational shit too. So
I will also say, just to like sort of, because I feel like we can put a wrap to it soon. Well, I know we have to, because
yeah,
like,
yeah, it's getting late
but
here, but no worries.
to sort of wrap that in and bring you guys back in, to all the people that are listening to it whenever we post for the first time or whether we post for the 100th time. We're just going back to start the series from the beginning. First of all, hi, how you doing? Second of all,
How you doing?
you know, like as much as we're talking about our experiences, we're not trying to just talk about it to be like, hey, look at us. Like, we want to make you guys feel just as comfortable as we feel with each other. Like, we are here to not only shoot the shit and fuck around, but like, I know when I was back in college, when I was back in high school, if I could have like a podcast like the one that we want to do, where it's just people inviting me in to just feel like I'm sitting in a friend's room, feel like I'm with people that I can relate to, people that I belong. If at least one person listens to this podcast and feels that way, then our goals have been accomplished. So,
Yeah,
you know
for
what?
sure, man. I feel that.
To whoever is listening, welcome. Thank you for listening, and I definitely hope that you guys look forward to all the content and all the adventures that we're gonna have going forward.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. It's gonna be good, man. Like you said, just an open conversation. And again, we're not judging anybody. And like you said, just if you're walking into somebody's living room and just sit down on the couch, pull out a beer, coffee, whatever you like, water, pop, and just, enjoy the show. Just talk about life and shit like that. And I think that's a good vibe to have for a show, right? Like there's no agenda, there's no narrative. It's just open conversation, have fun, but also, I want, another thing too, like I want to inspire people too, like because I hear a lot of people like suffering and like I don't know, if you go in public too, like I just sense so much like anxiety
Of course,
in
of course.
this world, and especially like in Canada, we've had a really fucking hard time like the last couple of years in this country anyways, but like a lot of people have. So I just want people to feel hopeful, maybe gain new perspective, and I just want to help people. I like helping people, man, especially through hard times, because you know we've been through
We've had
them
our fair
both.
share, yeah.
We've had our fair share, facing adversity and battling it, and it's just yeah.
But again,
So
we will save that for another time. For now, though, I'm
absolutely.
gonna handle this little sign off we got here because we still haven't figured out how the
Yeah.
fuck we're gonna structure this. But like, let's just give it a try. So,
Yeah.
once again, for everyone listening, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, whenever you're listening to this. Stay safe, stay happy, and whenever you guys need, whenever the next episode comes out, there's always a seat for all of you in the L section. You guys
Fucking
take
right.
care.
I love it. Take care.
All the flowers in my garden never looked as bright as they. Like a happy child, I watched